I'm going to be honest with you. Even though Crawford has shown he can wrestle, he showed that he can wrestle. In the cage, I don't think he can beat you in the cage because I don't think he has as much cage IQ as you. But in the boxing ring, oh, bro, I'm not going to like you're cooked. I'm in a boxing ring. If we're talking about strictly boxing, bro, I'm not even going to hold you, bro. That shit get nasty.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Brick Brothers episode. Look, y'all already know, man, your boy Buck been going viral. Stuff been going crazy. You know, we've been, calling out Bud Crawford, man, just to get some work. So y'all already know we're going to talk about that. But on top of that, man, we got a special guest, somebody who's been killing the game right now with the content. We talking about JYD, undefeated boxer, man, that's really been making some noise. And as well, man, we got a UFC fighter that's going to be on the show, and Phil Rowe later on. So, man, y'all going to tap in on this episode. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't already. And y'all already know what to do, man. Become a brick. Let's get it.
We good, bro.
Man, we blessed and highly favored, brother.
Come on,
Yes,
man.
sir,
I love to hear it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on the show. Man, it's awesome to have you. But we just gonna get straight into it. You know what I mean? Do you have anything coming up, bro, when it comes to your boxing game?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Seriously. I know we supposed to link like last week or so. The weekend got kind of busy, got away from it. Was a lot going on.
Man, that snow hit on everybody, didn't it?
Yeah, man, I'm talking about. I'm still basically snowed in my crib, bro. Shit is wild right now. You mean? But we got it together now. But I fight on next Saturday actually. On the 21st in Atlantic City. So that's a good joint. Can't wait to do that. Camp is over essentially.
Okay. All right. So how did camp go? Can you break it down for us real quick?
Yeah, camp, sir. I mean, it's funny. Everybody always asks me like how camp go, but I've been in camp for the past 3 years, bro. Like nonstop. I've been in camp ever since I turned pro. I've been in camp because my first year fighting that's when I fought the least. I think I only fought like 2 or 3 times that year. And then after that, I've been fighting 5 times a year, like 4 or 5 times a year. So I'm in camp now. I'm fighting every other month essentially. I think last year I might have fought 6 times.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them years I fought about 6 times.
Are you 12-0?
13-0.
13-0. How about
12 KOs?
Ooh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. So I've been. Everybody be asking me like, how is camp going and shit like that. Camp is everyday life for me. God damn it, Cord. Okay, cool. Yeah, camp is everyday life for me, man. And so you mean camp is every day, bro. It just is what it is. After a while, every day is one long ass day.
So Jay, you're not new to boxing, but you are new to the show. If you want to give a little bit of what you bring to the boxing world, like you have 12 KOs on your resume, 13 professional fights. For anybody who has not seen you fight, what is your fighting style like?
It's funny. Anybody who see me fight won't say like Greg Hackett, my man Greg. He was like he's the better Beav of 160. That's how he described me. Like that's how he'll describe my style. Like better Beav of 160. But if you ask like Ismail Salas or like Lara, like how I fight, they can tell you like I also can fight like Jenebek if I need to. Like I actually can fight out of a lot of different styles, but if there's no need to, then I don't. Like a lot of people don't think that I can like box off the back foot and stuff. I can. It's just if I don't need to, what's the point in doing it? A lot of people think I can only come forward, but I'm not here to prove to nobody what I can and can't do. I don't really care. But you mean my style is what needs to be done essentially. But whatever needs to get done to win is what I'll do. But just a hard working grind style, like that's it. Like I'll put it like this: if you think I can't fight, I can't fight. If you think I can only fight one way, if you think I can only fight one way, I can only fight one way.
100%.
Just make sure you beat me up when you see me. That's
right. I like that. So with that being said, right, you feel like you can adapt almost your style to anything, right? Because that's how you train. You say you pretty much don't have no days off. You always in fight shape, and I like that mentality that you got. But what age did you get started, man, in boxing, and what pursuit made you go down this career path?
Well, I was 23 years old when I started boxing. That's when I was
Hold up. That's late.
That's real late.
That's late. 23?
Yeah, I was 23. I was 23 years old when I first started boxing. The first time I ever stepped foot in the boxing gym was 23 years old. I ain't turned pro till I was 26, but I didn't have I only had 6 amateur fights. Believe it or not, I only had 6 amateur fights. But the rest of my amateur career was me in pro camps and working with pros and sparring with pros. So like, think how David Benavidez his amateur career was. That's kind of how mine was. Um, it wasn't directly the same, but it was similar to that. I only had 6 fights, 6-0, 5 knockouts in the amateurs, and after that, it was just I was working with all pros. But what got me into boxing was my daughter, my firstborn daughter. She needed open heart surgery when she was 3 months old. But prior to that, believe it or not, man, I lived a bunch of different lives. Okay, so prior to that, but that's crazy, bro. You wouldn't believe it. So prior to that, you mean my brother and my cousin and them, like, they was a lot deeper than I was, but like I was in the street for a little bit. Like I was doing the knucklehead street stuff for a while. And then after that, I actually did a lot of poetry. I was actually the year that my daughter
You was rapping a little bit?
No, I can rap. I can rap but I was doing poetry. I actually was doing poetry. Believe it or not. So
the little open talks.
Yeah, open mics. Open mics, slam poetry. So the year that my daughter, she was born, I was actually chosen. I was one of the people chosen to go represent Philly in the Nationals. When my daughter was, but my daughter needed open heart surgery the same exact week, and the Nationals was in Chicago. It was me, Enoch, Dave, Sin, Maddox, and like I want to say 2 other people. I'm sorry for forgetting names a lifetime ago, but I was one of the people that was chosen to go out to Chicago. But it was the same week as my daughter open heart surgery, and of course I wasn't going to miss that. So I even volunteered taught poetry. I was volunteer teaching poetry at SLA Bieber for 2 years before COVID hit, actually. Super dope experience. So poetry has been like poetry and boxing, and my daughter is like really what changed my life. So once, but nevertheless, I was always good at fighting. So when my daughter ended up getting open heart surgery, my dad used to always tell me, like, you might as well, as I messed my shoulder up with football, he was like, you might as well go ahead and start boxing. You always fight. You always like get in the gym. But I don't do nothing that my heart not into. So my heart wasn't in the box. I'm like, I'm not worried about that. My heart was into being a knucklehead at that time. I was probably like 18, 19. Who cares? Like, that's what my heart was into, doing stupid crap. But after my daughter, I calmed down a little bit going into my 20s. And then after my daughter was born and she needed the surgery, I was like, all right, like I need to do something that's going to make sense. Because at that time I was working for a company for Johnson & Johnson, and it was good money, but I was never home. I was never home. I was working 12-hour shifts like every day, and my job site was like an hour and a half away from my house, so I was never home. So I was like, man, like I gotta do something that's gonna make my daughter life better. And I remember after she had her surgery, just seeing her with like she had about 10 tubes inside of her, and it was just like she was dead. It was machines keeping her alive, and I'm like, yo, like it was bad. And then I remember it was a short period of time, for like a week or so, something got messed up with the insurance, and she needed to take heart medication twice a day. And like this much medication was like $6,000. And I remember, bro, I'm like, dog, like ain't no way, like ain't no way. So you mean we had to do to make that work, all that, and then it kicked back in, so everything was solid. But I'm like, dog, I can't have my daughter, like I gotta make a better life for her.
Man. I mean, that inspiration, that drive, right there, right?
Yeah.
You talk about, man, I can't fail, right? I gotta go after it, right? First off, how's your daughter doing now? You know, I wanna.
She good. She's 7 years old, man. You wouldn't even know it, dog. She was running around, and
she went through that story.
Yeah, she run around and jump and do a bunch of crazy kid stuff.
Right, man.
And believe it or not, she's 7 years old. 7 kids later, I'm still here.
You a busy man, huh? You active in the ring and outside the ring, I see. Hey, there we go. I
boy
feel
ain't playing. Yeah.
I'm up the game though. I ain't having no more. I'm
you tapped out now, huh?
I'm tapped out, bro. That's it.
All right, then. Well, speaking of just that drive, right, and the mentality that you have, just going into the professional boxing, right? And you talk about your daughter's story and that kind of motivating you to go that path. What do you think is helping you now in order to kind of get your name out there? Now being a professional boxer, what do you think? Even if you got advice for these young guys that's working, what would you say for these guys that's starting to get started in their pro career? What they need to do in order to get their fights?
Okay, so it's funny. I started social media to spite my dad and my wife, right? Because they was like, "Oh, you need to do social media. You'll be good at it. Excuse me, you'll be good at it. You got the energy and personality, blah blah." I'm like, "Yo, nobody care about it because I don't got no money. Like I ain't got no fancy car. Like social media is fake. Like everybody just like the fake BS story. I ain't got no chains. I ain't that. I'm not that dude. Like." And they like, "No, I'm telling you, you need to do it. Blah, 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 blah." So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it just to show y'all it ain't what y'all think." And then it's on my page now. You're gonna be scrolling for days because I post at least 4 to 5 times a day every day.
Okay.
So you're gonna be scrolling for days trying to find it, but it's still on my page to this day. The first ever video I posted when I took social media serious was just because you can box doesn't mean you can fight, and just because you can fight doesn't mean you can box. And I posted that video, and it did 500,000. After that, I was like, "What, yo?" Then I posted like 2 or 3 more videos. They did like regular numbers. Then the 5th video I posted, did like 300K, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just keep doing it." So I did it to spite them, but it ended up being like the best thing ever as far as like getting my name out there. So I say that to say this. Young people, if you are out here right now and you're doing anything in combat sports, make a social media and promote yourself. Nobody's going to promote you how you promote yourself. Nobody's going to pay you how you pay yourself. And in this day and age, especially in boxing, you don't even necessarily got to be that good. As long as you got a strong social media following and you're going to get people to come out, you don't even got to be that good because they're going to bring the money. They're going to bring the numbers. Companies and businesses want to work with you if you do that. People think, "Oh, social media not no job," until you do it. That's why everybody who see my content be like, "How you be posting so much every day?" Like, people don't believe that I don't have a team. Any video you see, any edits that you see, anything you see on my page, I do it 100% by myself. I do all of it, all the videos, all of the edits.
Or do you like it? Or do you like it when people ask or say, not even ask, right? When you posting, right? "Oh man, you should be more focused on training." When you just said, right, yourself, "Bro, I'm always in the gym. I'm always in fight camp," right? So how do you set up the time? Do you have a schedule? Do you have whatever?
So people say that to me. I haven't heard that in so long. People used to always say that to me when I first started. But if you watch my content, most of my content is in the gym. I'm training, and I just set my camera up and then just do my regular training shit. And then after that, like I cut the video up how I want to cut it up and make my videos how I do it. But then on top of that, the reason why y'all don't have time to do what I do, like not talking to y'all two, I'm talking about in general. The reason why y'all don't have time to do what I do is because y'all have a life. I don't have a life. Y'all got a life. Like, y'all do stuff.
Hold up, you got 7 kids. What you mean you ain't got a life?
Listen, that's my life. I go to the gym, go to work, and come home. I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing.
Locked in.
This is my life. Like, I'm boring. I am super boring. I go to the gym, I obsess over it, work, come home, and I make content all day, every day. This is what I do.
I love it.
So you mentioned something just a second ago that I thought was perfect for what's going on now, and I'm sure you've seen it. You're on social media a lot. The discussion between boxers and MMA fighters. You said something, I like what you said because it's perfect. Just because you can box don't mean you can fight. And just because you can fight do not mean you can box. So what's your take on the Bud Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, and Joaquin situation? Please break it down for us.
And speak it real, baby. Keep it Philly, dog.
All I'm going to do is keep it real because I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm a fan of boxing before I'm a fan of a man. And I'm a fan of combat before I'm a fan of a man. So I'm not going to get on this joint and lie to nobody. It just is what it is. Let's start with Shakur. So before these last 2 or 3 fights that Shakur has had, I can understand if you're not a purist of the boxing game, I can understand why you wouldn't be entertained with his style, right? But realistically speaking, defensively, he is the best defensive fighter, especially IQ-wise, in the world. But if you look at his last 3 performances, he is showing you, I don't have to move if I don't want to. I can stand directly in your face and I can punish you. The only knock that people can really have on Shakur at this point is he doesn't have a lot of knockouts. That's true. I get that. But even Andre Ward has said it, and Andre Ward said him and Crawford told him at their last fight, you could have stopped T.O. You should have stepped on the gas and you could have stopped him. He was there to be stopped. He was looking for somewhere to lay down. You just didn't. You ain't doing him a favor. I do believe he could have stopped Teofimo, but I'm gonna be honest with you. He crushed him in the worst way possible. It was no pun intended. It was a terrible joint. It was horrible, but that's his fight style. And Shakur Stevenson can stand directly in front of you and punish you. Now, Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he can stand directly in front of you and punish you. He can outbox you. He can do it all. But he can stand directly in front of you and punish you, and he's going to put you out. Terrence Crawford he's retired now, but I'm just going to speak as if he's still fighting. Terrence Crawford is arguably the best finisher in the game. Terrence Crawford will put you out as soon as he smell blood. Like, and shout out to Sean Porter, because that's my dog in real life. Like, Sean Porter's like a brother to me. Like, in real life, like forget boxing. That's really my brother. But if you look, when Terrence Crawford corner told him, yo, you down this fight, you losing. Terrence was like, I'm down. He was like, you losing.
He said, say less.
He's like, all right. He got up and he no, I'm not. And went out there and handled business. Like, you got to understand, Crawford's a killer. And I'm going to be honest with you, I mean this in the most respectful way possible. His mother raised a killer. His mother made the way he talks about how and I say in the most respectful way possible, because I don't mention nobody's mother in no type of way. But what I'm saying is the way she raised him and what she put him through, she made that boy into a monster. Now, with you in that cage, you a killer, you a monster. That's blood sport. That's what you do. But if y'all was in the cage, bro, under cage rules, bro, one of the most eye-opening experiences I ever had in my life was when I went to LA, and when I went to LA and I worked with Pierre in Philly. Mm-hmm. I worked with Pierre in Philly and I went to LA and did some MMA. Them kicks is a motherfucker. Them kicks, bro, them leg kicks, getting kicked is bro. Yeah. And I was getting kicked with like thick ass protective guards on, and they wasn't even kicking me 30%. They was kicking me like I was a kid. And I'm like, yo, bro, listen, keep your feet on the ground, fuck you mean, because
hey,
the trunk is
and
outside.
I'm not gonna lie to you, everything that you said, man, was 100% right. And people fail to realize I do respect boxing. I've studied boxing for a long time. You already know the black culture, man. We are embedded with boxing, right? And with that being said, I look at Shakur and I look at Bud, and I know how great they are, right? There's no debate on their skill level, right? When you speak about Shakur and his defensive prowess, right? You can be reminded of a Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When it talks about, like, you got to slow everything down just to see what they really doing, right? Yes. So don't get it twisted. I definitely respect them for what they do, but it seems like the respect ain't on the other side, right? Because one thing that Shakur really bugs me with is when all them dudes not that skilled, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? When it comes to what we do, we are very skillful at what we do. And that's why we got 2 different platforms. We got boxing on one side, we got MMA or / UFC on the other, right? These are 2 different sports, right? I can't just expect myself to hop into boxing and then try to call out one of the best in the world, you know what I mean? And then think I'm gonna get busy with them, right? Not at all. But I said this and I just kept it real. I can't box a boxer, and we know this, right? Right. But in my personal opinion, I didn't work with boxers. This ain't just coming out the blue. Because look, I'm gonna keep it real. You got a lot of MMA dudes that be trying to box, but they not willing to get into the boxing gym, right? Yeah. That's the crazy part. But then expect to fight some of the best in the world, like a Bud, like a Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? What's another good name that try to get busy? Oh, Javante and Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley talks. Yeah. You know Sean O'Malley would have got spunked around. We know this, right? In the boxing ring. But if you don't take it serious and actually go train with a real boxing coach, get into a real boxing gym, right, and train with real boxers, you will never know the actual levels. But I've already done it. I've trained with guys like Von Alexander, right? Devin Alexander's brother. I done trained with Joshua Temple, who has also been a sparring partner to Andre Ward. So people just don't know my background, right? And I'm not saying, okay, just because I train with these guys, I can get busy with Bud. But my thing is, bro, all work is good work. That's what I say over here, right? You know, at the end of the day, it'd be nothing but respect if I'm able to step in there with Bud and say, hey, I worked with one of the best in the world.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's where my take is on that.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's missing from context too, because when you mentioned Shakur mentioned the skill, I don't think they realize how big the gap is. There's more things to learn in MMA. So if you have a boxer at a high level, yes, the gap between Sean O'Malley and Gervonta Davis is wide. But they don't realize if Tank was to come over to MMA, he wouldn't be fighting Gervonta Davis. He probably couldn't beat a mid-level amateur in MMA. And I don't think they realize that.
Yes.
The gap is far bigger in mixed martial arts because there's so much more to learn. There's not just the kicks, there's knees, there's elbows, there's takedowns, there's submissions, there's obviously the striking and kickboxing range, which is way different. You can't get away with some of the rolls and slips and ducks the same way that you can in MMA because you have other points of contact that can land. And I think sometimes their boxers are very arrogant, and I respect boxing, but they're very arrogant to think just because they can box, they can fight. It is completely different. Yes, they have a fighter spirit, they have a fighter's mentality, but the skill level is just not there when it comes to MMA.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, right? And that was my whole purpose and point in making that video, right? The one prefacing the one that got us here, the first one I made. I'll put it to you like this, right? If and in fact, let's just say God forbid any of us land there. Let's just say you in a jail cell. And you in there with a dude, he about, 35 calendars deep. And he got a lifetime to go. He don't care about none of that. He know he gonna fight you. And fight you mean I'm gonna do whatever. And I'm gonna pick up whatever and it's gonna be whatever. You can't go in there with a mindset like, I'm gonna just keep my distance. A cell is little. It ain't no keeping your distance in that phone booth. And it ain't no keeping no distance when you got a motherfucker that don't care about nothing. He gonna grab you, he gonna kick you, knee you, bust you upside your head, pick up this metal pipe out this damn from under his bunk, all that. I ain't about to be. I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm about to go right back block work on you, bro. I'm about to grab you, dump you, do whatever I gotta do. It's about to get nasty. And some guys, you gotta understand, some guys don't know how to do that. Some guys don't understand. There's a saying in boxing. There's a saying in boxing a lot of people don't like to pay attention to. And at some point in every boxing match, a fight breaks out. You notice the difference. A fight breaks out. Not in every boxing match, the boxing gets hot. No, a fight will break out. That means somebody decided, man, fuck this boxing shit. I'm about to jump on your ass and we about to get nasty. And if you don't know how to control that, it's going to be a problem. But it's hard to control that if we're in an environment where there is no referee, there is no ring, there is no rules. It's hard to control that in an environment where you throw your hands up and somebody say, oh, that's cute, you got your hands up. I'm throwing kicks, knees, I'm picking up a brick. I'm doing whatever I got to do. Because when I fight you, I'm fighting you to hurt you or to take your life. And people don't understand that's not the same thing. Just because you, and taking it out of boxing, just because you good in the rec leagues, and basketball, just because you're good at playing people with one-on-ones, you good at running the one-on-one. You're not good at team ball. They're two different sports.
Totally.
Not the same thing. You suck on the team. You suck. You have no basketball IQ on the team. But in a one-on-one, you the king of the park.
You right.
So what you saying, and I don't think people really listening to you, right? It don't matter about the combative sport that you do. It's about the mentality of the man. And that's how far you willing to take it, right?
Yes.
When you in the streets, when you fighting in the jail, when you trying to get Fleece Johnson up off, you know what I'm saying? How far you willing to go in order to end somebody, right? And one thing I would have to say about MMA, right? Some guys in mixed martial arts don't have the best mentality, right? You coming from Philly, you already know who you got. You got Joe Frazier. You got Bernard Hopkins, you know what I'm saying? You got Tim Weatherspoon, you got Gerard Ennis, right? You got Boots, right? Their mentality are fighting mentality, but they just happen to box. But some guys, where we come from, oh boy, they from Philly though, but they homemade. We got dude named Sean Brady, dude named Eddie Alvarez,
Mm.
No, I'm keeping a buck over here. They don't have that same heart and mentality, right? With a lot of guys that come out of Philly, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I feel like there's a natural mindset that a lot of people are missing. It's not just the technique or the form, it's the mindset that you have, the drive that you have, right? And I'm one of those dogs as well, you know, when it comes to stepping into that cage or outside of the cage at that, you know, at that point, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, not only mindset but also IQ. People think people think just because you are a fighter that's gritty and nasty that you don't have IQ. That's not true. Roberto Duran was one of the best inside fucking nasty fighters you ever see. And his hand manipulation game was atrocious. I'm talking about the way he can manipulate your hands and be in the inside and be nasty. You have to have an IQ to be able to get people to control their body, control their hand, do everything he's doing. He was a creature with that. It's not just I'm just going out there throwing random punches. No, there's a method and a science behind the madness if you understand what you're doing, if you have the knowledge and the IQ. And then having that dog-ass mentality is going to take you far, because just because you from Philly, that don't mean you a gun just because you from Philly. I don't care where you from. I don't care where you from. People bitch made all over the world. Don't get confused.
Oh, God.
I gave you 2 from Philly.
Yeah, and I don't know them men, so I can't confirm.
He said Joaquin said it.
But yeah, Joaquin said it. I don't know. What I am saying is this. What I am saying is there are absolutely bitch-made dudes all over the world. So don't. I tell people that all the time. Oh, I'm from such and such. I'm from such. Bro, I don't care where you from, bro. I don't care about your block. I don't care about your gym. I don't care about your gang. Bro, that matters to them. That means nothing to me, bro. You got to show me. And in order to show me, boy, ain't that.
Man, 100%, man. Let's get on some fun stuff, though, real quick, man, before we get you out of
Yeah.
here.
And listen, man, listen. You and Crawford, what y'all can do is, man, do it in the octagon and then do it in the square. But
now you know, hold on. Now,
It's never gonna happen, yeah.
you know, Bud is definitely never coming out into the octagon, and I never asked him to. I respectfully asked him, let's get that work in the ring, sparring wise, boxing wise. Never told him that he had to do what we do, right? Because I'm already knowing the reality. It's not even gonna go the way you think it's gonna go, right? But at the end of the day, if I'm getting in there with the best in the world, and everybody like, oh, Buck want money, bro. Sparring is free. You know what I'm saying? I should be asking for some money if I'm gonna get this work. But getting the work in with a person like Bud is only gonna make me better in the field where I'm at. Right?
Absolutely.
The things that I can take, the maneuvers I can take from Bud and just work with a person like that, I'm just gonna shine.
Yeah.
Respect to Clarissa Shields, right?
Yes.
I trained with her back in Michigan, you know, when she was training MMA and doing her thing, right?
Right.
And, you know, I'm not going to lie. Now, you got your head on straight, but there's a lot of boxers out there that is just so delusional when it comes to this game of combat, right? And with my girl Clarissa, she thought it out. She actually competed in MMA and the PFL, has a winning record in the game. And when we trained, she was like, man, this stuff is hard. Right?
Yes.
Like having to learn, you know, wall control and learning how to get up off the ground and learning wrestling and jiu-jitsu. It's like so much had to be put together. And then not only just mentally, but your body fatigued, your joints hurt, your ankles hurt, toes, your fingers, joints, right? All these different things that she wasn't used to, you know? And, you know, eventually she said she stopped doing MMA. And then I see her on the interview and it broke my heart when she said, man, MMA ain't real fighting.
Oh yeah,
I said,
It's
okay,
real fighting.
it's the realest,
you know.
It's
but she seems as if only having the left and the right hand and being able to do what you're doing there, that's the true art of fighting. To me, what we say is the sweet art of boxing.
Yeah.
To me, what we do is the sweet art of fighting.
Yes.
Right.
I don't take away from that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Even on my page, the karate dudes hate me right now. I've been on karate ass, but it's all jokes, because I mess with boxers, karate, MMA, UFC, PFL, bare knuckles. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? It's everybody can get it because it's all just fun and games. But you gotta understand this. Anytime you walk into that ring, a square circle, a octagon. I'm gonna focus on the octagon. You walk into that octagon, I'm telling you right now, even the same as boxing, you got a chance of losing it. And forget not walking out the same. You got a chance of never walking out again. Because when someone hits you with a shot, a kick, whatever, you fall and you hit your head. And boxing, that's it. In MMA, UFC, somebody coming on top of you with a hammer to follow that shot. And I'm going to keep it a beam. Why I can never watch none of my folks do no UFC and get hit with nothing like that? Boy, the whole front row better lay down. Get up, hey yo. As soon as my man hit the deck and you come on some, that's the AO, get out. Yo, bro,
that's all you heard.
Bro, that thing hey, bro. Hey, bro, you better get up on my man, let him get up. Or you won. Hey, don't do all that shit. So you can't say that's not real fighting when, man, that shit'll take your life from you and it's for real, dog. And it's for real. So it's definitely real fighting. I'm not sure why Clarissa said that. I can't speak for that woman. That's not my business. But it's real fucking fighting, dog. Don't say it ain't real fighting when if you go outside and somebody violates you, chances are you ain't gonna be chances are that shit, we about to get down. It's real fighting, bro. It's real 100%. Fighting.
100%, man. I appreciate you for clearing that up, man.
Yeah. Speaking about some fun topics, I see your shirt, you're branding Terrible Jawn. For those people who don't know, first off, what is a Jawn? And then break down your signature finger wave and what is a Terrible Jawn?
So it kills me out of towners because y'all never pronounce it right.
I can't.
Because you're not out of town. So it's actually it's pronounced Jawn, right? But hold on, let me see. Damn, because we say things so differently than y'all. Because even if I say off and on, some people say on. I say on, like off and on. Yeah. And that's how we say Jawn, on, Jawn. So a Jawn is literally a noun. If you look up, it's actually in the dictionary now. Jawn is in the dictionary. Jawn is a noun. It's a person, place, thing, or idea. So depending on what you're saying and how you're saying it, that's what determines what a Jawn is. So if you see a girl and she bad, she might be a little bad. You be like, oh, she a Jawn. Hold on, I'm about to go get that. She a Jawn. Oh, you a Jawn. She a Jawn. But let's just say we all in the same room and we charging our phone. And we all got iPhones. I'm like, yo, can you pass my phone real quick? You like, which one? If I got a green case on mine, I'll be like, the green Jawn. My phone is now the Jawn. A terrible Jawn is just a situation that you're in. That's not a good situation. That's terrible. It's not a good Jawn. It's a terrible Jawn to be in. So when you are a part of being in a terrible Jawn, that means some shit happened to you that you didn't want to happen to you. It's a terrible Jawn. But on the other side of that, I also do beautiful Jawn, which is I'm highlighting what the good was. A lot of people were saying like, you know, oh, terrible Jawn, it seems like you make it. One, it's just jokes. Ain't never nothing personal. It's just jokes. It is what it is. But on the other side of every beautiful Jawn is a terrible Jawn. So
absolutely.
If I'm highlighting what the fighter did to knock you out, you still got knocked out. And all I did was praise him for knocking you out. But if you got knocked out, and I made a joke about it.
Right.
I'm still praising main man for knocking you out. So you still they go hand in hand.
Yes,
but
sir.
Terrible Jawn happened by accident. Jawn has been a word in Philly since before I was even born. Jawn
of course.
Right.
But one day I made one of my first early on reaction videos. Something happened, and I was like, and I just naturally did that.
It just came out.
Terrible Jawn. Hey yo, I commented on it. And then when I did that, people in the comments was like, terrible Jawn, ha. And I'm like, what? This is just regular talk, like what? But it took to out-of-towners a lot. And they was like, yo, what did that mean? Blah, blah, blah. So then I stuck with that. But in closing, all of my good ideas with social media was an accident. I never did anything big on social media that was on purpose. All of it was an accident. Terrible Jawn was an accident. How I started my videos was an accident. Thunder Hands was an accident. Anything that y'all seen me do, you're not such and such. That was an accident. Everything that I did that was major on social media, it was just me being myself. Be yourself on social media, dog. Be yourself. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell who you are for likes, clicks, and views, bro. somebody want to hear what you got to say, but don't sell out who you are. Don't do weird shit for likes and clicks and views, bro. Be yourself. It's okay. But that's how Terrible Jawn came.
Man, we appreciate you for coming on the show, fam, man. Everything that we just talked about, man, I feel like, you really bridging that gap, man, where we can all come together, man. MMA, boxing, right? All combat athletes, man. But you keeping up the good work on the content, bro, and really educating, right? Not just the fan base, but the athletes in general, right? Because right now we in a very new space where, yet again, it's about the entertainment just as it is about the, the spectacle of the sport as well. So with that being said, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro. And I'm happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, appreciate having you. Excuse me. Good luck to your fight next week. I know you're gonna get another knockout. And I'm gonna practice my pronunciation. As an out-of-towner, I'm gonna get it together though. You know what I'm saying?
Hooked on phonics. I got you.
I can read, but Jawn on. Yeah, I'm gonna practice it.
Yeah. Last thing, do you want to shout out to the viewers watching, man? Anything that you want to give out?
Yeah. Terrible Jawn won. Always for all my success, thank Allah first and foremost. My folks, my family, my team, my dad, Bread Man, Breed, Deja, my kids. But also, listen, I have a question for you before I go. Oh, also YouTube. Follow me on YouTube and TikTok, please. JYD_world. Follow me on YouTube. We're building up the YouTube thing. But I got a question for you because you said something to me yesterday, and I'm gonna leave y'all on this. Well, how I do social media and how I do my brand. I don't know. Before I ask the question, I'm sure you know where I'm going. Am I allowed to? Are you allowed to publicly talk on this?
You got to ask it first.
Okay. So we talked about like the branding and how, because I told you I'm independent. I'm not signed to anybody. I'm independent. And you were telling me in the MMA world, it don't go that way. Like, it ain't like you could just do it how I'm doing it. Would you care to, one, shine a light on that if you can, and two, because I don't want to get you blackballed or however, I don't know. Or two, how would you tell, because people ask me in MMA all the time, like, how do I get my social media stuff going? But until you told me what you told me the other day, I didn't know how y'all shit was structured. But people ask me, how can I get my social media presence like to where mine is? So I'm asking you, how could you do that for the people that's in MMA?
I think you broke it down perfectly just by being yourself, right? And when you be yourself, man, and when you collect the audience, right, that's all they care about, right? They, like you said before, nobody really care about how talented you are. How many people you bringing in? How many eyes are you collecting, right? When it comes to, putting on the show. So that's all I got to say. And also, on top of that, being entertaining, you better win too. Yeah. Right? And win on top of that, right? So be entertaining and make sure you go out there, man, and backing up the words that you say. And that's it, to be honest with you. Yep.
Right. Okay, good. Well,
man. Appreciate you, bro.
I'm happy we was able to get that done. I'm a DM you after y'all done the show. I got to write with you about some things.
All right, bet. That's 100. Let's go.
Thanks.
Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out Brick Boys.
Let's go.
Brick Bros. I'm sorry, Brick Bros.
Yeah, close enough, man. We both got work to do.
Shout out Brick Bros. Crazy name. Love y'all. Terrible Jawn.
Let's go. Boy, JYD, man. Appreciate you, man, for having on the show, bro. Let's go. All right.
Yeah, so that Houston card, we get into it a little bit. It'll be next week. Speaking of Phil Rowe, you got Sean Strickland versus Fluffy Hernandez in the main event. What are your thoughts on that fight? Do you think Deshaun Strickland will get a victory, or will Fluffy Hernandez put himself in that front place spot for that title?
Man, I think this is a good level up for Anthony Hernandez, especially getting a name like Sean Strickland, a former champion, right? Dude that's tough, person that like to do the man dance, as he call it. But I see Hernandez, man, he's a tough dude, man. The volume that he puts on a lot of guys, I'm talking about he take them through the trenches, right? And it seems like a person like Anthony Hernandez, right? Seems like he doesn't slow down, right? He picks up the activity. His grappling is superior to most guys that's in the game, right? Who did he submit back in the day? Vieira.
Oh yeah, Rodolfo Vieira.
Thank you. You know what I mean? And that right there already kind of solidified his name on what he can do with top level guys on the ground. And then obviously beating Brandon Allen in the UFC, and then how he did Roman Delise, man, where he was just dragging Buddy. Let me go. Like, no, that's crazy work. So with that being said, I think it's gonna be an excellent fight between the two. But if I would really had to put my money on somebody, I would put it on Sean because he still has been fighting at higher echelons for a longer time. and he's a vet of the game. And to be honest with you, he know how to take the fight where he needs to take it right now. Is it going to be the most interesting? Is it really going to be the man dance we want to see? Probably not. But Sean Strickland is intelligent enough to keep the fight where he needs to.
Sure, and I hear from a lot of people Sean Strickland's underrated wrestling. You've seen it at times in a defensive context, not necessarily offensive, and I think that'll play a factor in this fight. But I think the biggest key for victory for Sean Strickland is violence. He needs to be violent to beat Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I think that is something, when you have that pace and grind style, that sometimes is missing. Yes, Fluffy does have good ground and pound. He does have good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, great top control, but something you don't see him do all the time. He uses pace as a weapon, where Sean uses violence as a weapon. I think that's Sean's greatest attribute. Him just constantly, it might not be with the greatest amount of power, but him consistently landing combinations, pressing forward, and, putting somebody on their heels and trying to make them uncomfortable with his offensive prowess. So if I was Sean Strickland, I would try to make the affair as violent as possible. Take heart and cardio out of it and make it a game of punishment. Easier said than done when you have somebody spamming takedowns and consistently shooting, and they're not going to get tired. So it's a very interesting matchup. If I had to put money on it, probably Sean Strickland for the reasons you mentioned before. But I would not be surprised because it's a 5-round fight, and that pace is just a lot to keep up with. That's a lot. Knowing that you can go and compete with, you have to go and compete with somebody who can swim as far as they want to out in the water, and they can swim back just fine. It does make a lot of people hesitant in how much output to give. Should we coast in the second round? Should I not try to put him away here? Because if there is a situation where Sean gets tired, Fluffy Hernandez isn't the person that you want on top of you in the 4th and 5th round. So it'll be an interesting fight if I had to put my money on Sean Strickland, but I think it could go either way. We got Jeff Neal versus Euros Medic. It's an interesting fight for sure. I think Jeff Neal's at the place of his career where he's right at the level of being potentially seen as elite, and then also in that elder statesmanship of gatekeeper. I think this is a good matchup for him to kind of show where he's at, the separator from him and everyone else, and for him to bring himself back to relevance to being a top contender, which Jeff Neal was kind of on that trajectory. So with this fight, I would love to see Jeff Neal reassert himself and, put himself at a place where we're talking about Jeff Neal with the Ian Garys, guys like yourself, Kamaru Usman's and so on and so forth, because right now I feel like there's a separator that is kind of eliminating him from those from those matchups. And I think this is a good match. Now with Medic, he has the perfect opportunity when you have somebody who's fought more premier fighters, guys like Shavkat, his opponents fight guys like that. You have the opportunity to steal some of that shine, steal some of that thunder, and push yourself forward. So I think it's a good matchup for both people. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see what Jeff Neal can do in a co-main event spot. It's been quiet. We haven't seen him fight in a while.
Yeah, no. So with that being said, right? My bad, y'all. With that being said, with Jeff Neal, like you said before, like this is really kind of teetering on the fact where you either gonna be the gatekeeper of the division now, or right, you keep or cement your name to kind of move up the ladder again. So this is a big one for Jeff Neal to really kind of bounce back. Actually, I don't know much, even though he's in my weight class. I really don't know much about Medic, right? I think I've seen a couple of little highlights. You know what I mean? I think he done spunked a couple people around. Has he?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's not. Right. This matchup is surprising to me. I didn't do background to see if somebody fell out. You would think Jeff Neal might get somebody with a bigger name. No disrespect to Medic.
So Jeff Neal originally had Kevin Holland.
There we go.
Now he declined Kevin Holland. I don't know the background, but I'm just glad because yet again, bro, we shouldn't be fighting on Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? we gonna say that for a martial law fight. But at the end of the day, this fight right here is just going to prove, where Jeff Neal is at, right, for a lot of people. And I trained with Jeff Neal when I was out there in Fortis MMA with Saeed and them, and boys still got it. You know what I'm saying? Still strong, still fast, still competitive. But the thing is, though, it's not what you do in your training room. It's what you're able to execute out there when you fight in the octagon, And with that being said, man, I'm going to be pulling for Jeff Neal, man. So let's go.
I am. Jeff Neal is one of those guys that's intriguing to me. I'll say it. I've said this before to you candidly. Jeff Neal is as good as it comes as far as textbook wise. I just feel like Jeff Neal needs a little sauce and flavor. I feel like just from his performance to remind people how good he is, something signature, something that he can really hang his hat on and say, look what I'm doing. I think that would get him into the next phase of his career to be somebody mentioned with someone, because like I said, the welterweight division is kind of at a standstill. Any performance right now, I feel like pushes somebody way more forward because there's just so many people who are inactive right now. So, I'm looking forward Jeff Neal to have a signature performance, premier performance, and I look forward to it on Saturday.
That's 100. Let's go.
Dan Ige set to fight Mokwezio Costa. That's the one you were calling Casper.
Oh, thank you. Now I know.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight for sure.
That is. That's a fun fight.
Definitely.
Actually, I mean, and especially what Casper did to last buddy. You know what I'm saying? Kick buddy about this earth. This stylistically is gonna be a fun fight. I don't see nobody trying to take this fight to the ground, or using too long in the clinch. You already know Dan Ige is a very pressure fighter. Likes to throw heavy hands over the top. And especially, he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Very familiar with facing taller opponents, like, when he had with Sean Woodson, right? And I believe, dude a little bit more taller, right? Lankier. So I don't think Dan Ige is going to be, brought to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's going to be gunshot, right? When he's out there. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to really watch out, for those, long limbs, and especially that high kick. That man, thrown, because he set it up beautiful, right? With a lot of good feints, right? A lot of good shots to the body, and with his hands, right? So with that being said, him going out there and doing his thing, this should be a fun fight, stylistic.
And I think it will be a fun fight, but for Dan Ige, you got to mix it up in this fight. You have somebody that much taller than you, especially you trying to come in, making it a downhill fight, using angles and footwork and really capitalizing, and some of those up and down motions, faking for shots, touching leg, coming up top. Dan Ige has a really good hook and overhand combination. For him to be able to be successful in this fight, I think he'll have to mix it up, keep Costa guessing, because you saw what Costa can do with that knockout. I really wasn't familiar with him before, but after that, I definitely do now. So for Ige to, I know he has that power 50K Ige, but I think if I was a coach of his, be a mixed martial artist, don't be afraid to strike, but don't be afraid to use your skills, because Costa, that's not something you want to play with. Jacoby Smith is supposed to fight Josiah Harrell.
I know Jacoby Smith.
No, but I skipped one. Interesting. Sergey Spivak versus Deja.
Yeah, I don't know them niggas. Go back to Jacoby Smith.
So anyway, Jacoby Smith is supposed to fight Josiah Harrell. Jacoby Smith obviously looked very impressive in his last fight. I'm not super familiar with Josiah Harrell. I think it might be his first UFC fight.
I'm very familiar with him, right? So, no, dead ass.
Okay.
So, look, quick story, right? So, Josiah was a person that got called in, right? Once JDM and Sean Brady was supposed to fight. And, obviously they had called me for the JDM fight. But I was like, bro, I ain't for the fight buddy on a week notice. You better call somebody from the LFA. So that's exactly what they did. But with Josiah, everybody got to get medically cleared first and, get checked up. And they found like a brain, something had went on where he couldn't, fight, right? So he had to get an operation and put him out for a while, and now he has taken this whole time, right? And then came back to not only just fight, but now to work his way back into the UFC. I think it's an incredible story, right? Actually, man, I would love to have Josiah on the show.
Come on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it further. But other than that, though, I'm very intrigued in the fighting style between both of them, because both of them are great wrestlers. Jacoby Smith doing what he do, and Josiah doing what he does. I think he ran somebody out of the cage before, right?
Damn.
That's how strong he is. But obviously, when you get two grapplers,
oh yeah,
what we like to say,
it's when they're striking.
Yeah. So
They
this is definitely gonna be a fight to watch for sure.
No, yeah, that makes me more excited about it. You mentioned you were familiar with him. I didn't know if y'all had beef back in the day.
Not at all.
But as far as that incredible story, it's funny. I saw, well, not even funny, but interesting. I saw somebody in the NBA. He was the 12th pick in 2024 draft, and he had cancer, and he played his first game about a week ago or something like that. And it's just beautiful to see people have those comeback stories after, ailments or whatever issues they have medically that keeps them out the cage. So it's another beautiful story hearing somebody being cleared and getting back to what they love and being able to be productive. So I wasn't familiar with him, but I will do some research for next time to see and I keep an eye on him. But you said they're two really good wrestlers. Obviously, I'm familiar with Jacoby Smith, so it probably will be a striking affair, and it's very interesting when that happens. Maybe one of them will break the mold and be confident and stand on business and say, "This is what I do." That's one thing. That I will give the Dagestani fighters. They don't care who they fight. They're just wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like that's so it'll be interesting, but I can't really give a pick because I'm not familiar. I guess I'll take Jacoby Smith just because I'm not familiar, but I have no horse in the race.
I think no horse in the race, but man, it should be a fun fight to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. Our next guest is fighting on the Sean Strickland Fluffy Hernandez card, February 21st in Houston, Texas. Philly Fresh, Phill Rowe.
There it is.
Hey, what's up?
What's the word, man? My bad, y'all.
Man,
you're right.
My bad.
I get it.
Nah,
you're a busy man. You have a fight on the horizon. You took this fight short notice. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I'm locked in. No excuse on my end. I'm fully prepared. I just got to go beat this dude, man. Pause. I know what I got to do. I'm in a must win. I'm telling myself it's a must win, right? Just from a business standpoint, you got a guy that's new to the UFC. You got a guy like me who's on my 9th fight. They pay me what they pay me. I lose to this guy. It's not warranted for me to have a job, So I got to go out there and just knock this dude the fuck out, man.
What more can you tell us about your opponent, man, that you're going up against, right? What do you know about him?
I don't know too much about him. I obviously Googled him. I obviously looked at what was readily available on Fight Pass. He's fought in LFA. He used to be a 55er. Now he's a 170. He's a lifelong martial artist. I see he's like a child prodigy. He's been doing this a long time. He's been doing karate, jiu-jitsu. So yeah, man. He a martial artist, lifelong martial artist. I don't really know too much about him, but this is his UFC debut.
Okay.
Yeah. So with you being somebody who's very familiar, well established, was there any hesitance to take somebody who's up and comer, somebody who hasn't fought in the UFC before?
Nah. And the UFC is weird, man. Buck could tell you they don't do people no favors, and especially. Just to be frank, people like me and Buck, you know what I'm saying, without saying what I'm saying.
I get it.
Right.
And this is my 9th fight in the UFC. And I haven't had one fight in the UFC that has been every fight that I've had in the UFC is a must take. You got to take this. There's no option. All right, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Every time they present the fight to me, it's on some, yo, this is the only thing available. You have to take this fight. If you don't, okay, my nigga. Good morning. How you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every fight. Every fight I've ever had. And I was on a 3-fight knockout streak, right? And it was the same thing. The next opponent, yo, you got to take this. This is the only thing they got for you. How you doing? Good to see you. Everything's good? All right, cool. So my team was actually in Vegas with Charles. And my coach calls me. He's like, Julian Williams. He's like, yo, you fighting? I'm like, unbeknownst to me, my nigga, what do you mean? He's like, there's this dude at the PI telling everybody he's fighting you. I'm like, bro, I have no idea. I've heard nothing from the UFC. I'll call my manager. I said, what's the guy's name? He didn't even know his name. So he went up to somebody that was training on him. He said, yo, what's that guy's name? He told me his name. I said to my manager, yo, we fighting this dude? And then my manager said, I just got out the meeting with Sean Shelby. They said, this is what they got for you, blah, 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 blah. So mind you, this guy was on the fight card previously, making his debut from the Contender. He was slated to fight Austin Vanderford. And for whatever reason, Austin Vanderford pulled out per usual. And they, I guess, presented my name to this cat before they hit me up. And that's just how the game, that shit don't bother me no more. So they've been told him he was fighting me. And then when I get it, it's, yo, you got to take the fight. This is the fight, or you don't. Da-da-da. Okay, cool. Everything's good. Good to see you. All right. And that's literally how it was. My manager, Charles, everybody that was in Vegas literally called me and said, hey, this guy's going around the PI telling people he's fighting you. And then they sent the contract, and then that was it.
Okay. All right. So moving forward, right, you know what I mean? And obviously, right, you're going for that win. You're going for that knockout, right? What is your biggest, I guess, pursuit right after this fight once you knock out Buddy?
Bro, I'm in. Honestly, there is none for me. Like, because as you know, you can't plan shit in the UFC. You can't plan nothing. Jailton Almeida, that nigga don't got a job. You know what I'm saying? And I if you would have told him before that fight, if you don't lay it on the line, you were unemployed, he goes out there and lays it on the line. You know, I'm not just saying that because I'm cool with him. But if you tell him, yo, if you don't go out here and go for it and try to get this guy the fuck out of here, you are not employed. He's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't think going into that fight he wouldn't have a job being ranked number 6 in the world. You know what I'm saying? So for me, man, I'm just grateful for another opportunity to make a 6-figure check. I'm just grateful for opportunity to do what I do every day. And I'm not getting too ahead of myself. I just got to stretch this motherfucker, and then whatever comes next, comes next.
Nah, man, I love that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the state of the welterweight division, everything is so stagnant right now. There's a lot of inactive fighters, a lot of people not fighting. So this gives you a great opportunity while people are sitting and waiting for you to reassert yourself and show people what Phill Rowe can do. What is your thought and take on the welterweight division? The guys being inactive. It seems like a lot of people don't want to fight. What are your thoughts?
I think, obviously, I'm biased, but I think it's the most talented division there is, and they have this pound for pound list. Well, I always think welterweight's the most talented is because, and the hardest division is because pound for pound, in my opinion, like that's the threshold. So like the guys at welterweight, Buck, myself, we're naturally bigger guys, 200 pounds, high 190s. Respectively, we could fight a 85 or a 205er. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that, but we could, right? No 55ers fighting anybody 85 and up. So for me, those are the toughest guys in the world, in my opinion. Like, because at any given day, you really could fight a 85er. He used to fight it. Buck used to fight 85. You could fight a 205er. You know what I'm saying? So I think pound for pound, skill, size, it's the toughest division bar none, because you got guys that could really beat up light heavyweights, even some heavyweights. They can fight middleweight. It's just that, and then they're at a size where they're still super skilled. They're not just big, sloppy guys. So I just think it's the toughest division. And I truly feel it's the only division where there's guys outside the top 15 that could beat and win a world title if they had the opportunity. So it's such a stacked division. You know what I'm saying? It's so stacked. And like I said, I'm just grateful at this point just to be able to compete, man. It's so hard in the UFC to plan anything, to have any plans, to think you're going to do this. Because, look, I'll be honest. I told Buck, when Buck fought Wonder Boy, or after he fought Wonder Boy, you could give him a title fight right there and nobody complains. You know what I'm saying? You can give him a title shot. And I'm not just saying that. Credit where it's due. Right at that point, you could give him a title fight and no one's going to make a big deal about it. Look at the body of work. But what the UFC will do is they'll just ride you like Seabiscuit. They'll put you in a position to where if they don't want you to fight for a title, you're going to have to fight, and then eventually you probably lose. And it's not even because you're lesser than your opponent. It's simply because you done fought 5 times in a fucking calendar year. Charles Johnson, sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to run you until you know what I'm saying?
I
so
like what you're saying.
That there's X amount of times you're going to want to cut weight, do all that. And the UFC, if you like, okay, anyone, anytime, anywhere, cool. You have 8 fights in a row, and if they don't want you to fight for that belt, they won't. And then they'll run you to the ground until you're tired of cutting weight, your body's not right, and then you be in a position where you taking a fight that you really not physically prepared for.
So do you think this sport has made a transition? Because it seems like you're really trying to get it off your chest, right? You know what I'm saying? With the UFC, right? Is this still a sport or is this the entertainment business? Right?
It's the entertainment business. You know that. So it's the entertainment business.
So that means that you still have a realm, right, with the UFC, in my personal opinion. You're a funny guy, bro. You speak your mind, right? You do numbers, right? I believe that the one that you did, right, the next, you said the last fight on your contract, right, and they trying to give you somebody with the DOV, right behind their name. You know, people just love the real content, man, and just being able to expose really what happens within the business, you know, regardless if people don't believe it or regardless if it's just opinion, right? So with that being said, you know, don't you still see an avenue where, you know what I'm saying, you're able to progressively move forward with the UFC?
Absolutely. Like, but I look at it now as um, an opportunity, right? I don't look at it as a job. Like, and I be feeling bad for these niggas in the UFC because they are fucking clueless, right? And especially me, that I'm blessed to be around people that are really successful in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do well, right? And I'm grateful from where I'm from and how I grew up. I'm from nothing. You know, I got 2 God-fearing parents, so I'm saying financially, I'm from nothing, right? To where I'm at now, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I remember I couldn't afford 1 pair of these. You know what I'm saying? I got a house full of cool shit. But the UFC, I don't look at it as a job per se. And niggas be here thinking it's a job. And it will, the Dana White will crumble you, right? And he will, and I'm not mad at Dana. Everybody be like, oh, Dana's this, he don't pay the fighter enough. Dana runs a business and he's great at business. If this nigga will fight for free because there's 3 letters on his shorts, why let him, right? If this nigga will fight for a hot meal, let him. You know, that's business. I'm not mad at him for, that's like, I'm not mad at a lion for being a lion. If you let a lion in your house, everybody's gone. And you can't be mad for them niggas in Dubai to be having them house pets to be eating everybody up. Because, you know, you get what I'm saying? That's who Dana is. And respectfully, it's not a knock at him. He's great at business. He's great at what he does. So, like, you're not going to come to the UFC and switch his mindset, switch how he operates and functions in his business. So the UFC, man, it's an opportunity. It's not a job. And I've learned to appreciate the opportunity that I have. And just being here, able to make a 6-figure check, being able to use their platform to push myself. But it's never going to be what you think it's going to be, right? It's never going to be the NBA, the NFL. It will never, right? And not in our lifetime, right? So you might as well run it up while you can, make as much money as you can, and then dip, because you don't take the Mark Hunt route. You're not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna win. It's Dana's shit. You know, it's his shit. It's Hunter's shit. It's Sean Shelby. It's their shit. It's not yours. You can't come to my house and tell me how to run shit. So for me, like I said, I'm just grateful for being here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I understand how business works in the real world. And I'm just here to maximize my time here. And that's all I can do with the time that I have allotted left.
Okay. Then you got that off. Going down to Houston, right? Being able to prepare for your next fight against this dude right here. What's his name again?
I can't even pronounce anybody's name.
Gene Paul.
Yeah, Gene Paul. How you say his last name?
I don't say his last name. Yeah, I just say Gene Paul.
Right. What's some things that you looking forward to, man, when you touch down in Houston, bro? So what can the fans be able to be in store for?
Man, Houston is black, bro. And I'm happy. I've been to Houston twice before. I used to be business partners with Trey the Truth out there. Shout out to Trey. He's a cool dude, man. And I didn't realize how black it was. Big watches, big whips. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's like the Beverly Hills for black folks. You know what I'm saying? Business owners, doctors, lawyers. And I didn't know that. So I was there, and I went out with him, with Trey and his boys, and I'm like, man, I didn't know it was black. And I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to be around people that look like me, you know what I'm saying? Successful people that look like me. So I'm sure when I walk out and what I walk out to, they're going to be vibing with me. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying, showing me love. So I'm just, like I said, grateful to have another opportunity to go lay it on the line and do what I love to do, man.
Love to hear.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting perspective, you being so candid, and I appreciate it, because a lot of people do look at the UFC like this dream job, and then I realize it is a business. At the end of the day, you're as whatever the market kind of value you as. And I guess my question is, why do you feel like you're at a place where your back is on the line? Because when I watch you fight, you're somebody who's always exciting. You're very well-rounded. You will never have boring fights. You always come and bring it. So why do you feel that way?
What was your name again, my man?
My name's Edric.
Edric. So look, like I said, I don't take this shit personal, right? And if I don't go out there and do what I can do, the joke's on me. I'm better than 90% of these niggas, man. I train every single day, twice a day for the past 15 years. I just do, right? And they see a shade of me every time I'm out there. So for me, I say, Phil, you don't really deserve to exist anymore if you don't show them what you really can do, right? So you're giving yourself a disservice by not going out there and fighting to the best of your ability. And there's a lot that goes with fighting, mental, and there's a lot. For me, it's not necessarily my skill set. It's a lot mental and me battling myself in there, right? So for me, how I look at it, I'm like, okay, I'm on my last fight of my contract. I'm sure I 6x what he makes, right? So they're paying me 6x what this guy gets paid, and he's getting 10 and 10 for his debut, and I lose to him. And then now I want to get another fight, and they're gonna have to pay me 6x what they pay this guy, right? It doesn't make sense business. And it don't bother me, it don't hurt my feelings. That's just the reality of it, right?
Sure.
And niggas will be like, yo, man, go out there, have fun. There's no pressure. No, there's a lot of pressure. There's
Always
a lot
pressure.
of pressure. If I don't fucking win, I probably don't have a job, right? And that's what I tell myself. So I deal with that pressure. I deal with reality, and I got to go out there and do what I can do. And once again, like, I'm not wishing for a win, or I'm not like hoping. And I got the skill set to absolutely annihilate this guy. And I know it. And I just got to do it. And 9 fights in the UFC, God knows I'm telling the truth. I've been a shade of who I am. And it's still enough that I've been able to win. It's still enough that I've been able to support my family, but I can do so much better. And don't ask me why I don't. I don't be scared. I don't know, maybe I'm too hyper focused in the moment, but I'm battling that. And that's what I'm battling. So I'm always battling myself and trying to figure out ways to go out there and do what I can do. So Saturday, I'm certain I'm congruent with the thought of me being in front of this man and swinging until he falls.
I love that.
And that's the game plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So even with myself, right, and just speaking on what you said, even with Jawn Almeida, if he knew, right, that maybe his job was on the line, right, or which it was on the line, he might have fought a little differently, right? And you bet money that he would have fought a little differently, right? And I feel like, every fighter who's in the UFC, regardless of what your contract say, regardless if you're on a winning streak, every time you go out there to perform, your job is on the line. That's
and not to cut you off, and I appreciate you because you sparked that in my mind when I spoke to you a while back. You like, nigga, you told me that, and I never thought like that, right? You signed a 5-fight deal and you thinking job security, so that mentality alone was a gem, and I appreciate that. But go ahead.
No, but it's 100% the fact, because you just going with your drive right now that you have, right? Like, I never really seen this side of you, But see, that would make a fighter dangerous, And if you just keep that mindset of hunger and always just wanting to just go out there and show out, right, and put on your best performance, regardless of a win or a lose, you already know that performance is going to speak for itself, right? And that's always what you want to do, is have a great performance regardless of a good win, right?
Facts.
So
No,
that's my biggest thing.
On my kid, bro, on my kids, I don't care if I win or lose. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to do the best I can. And I want people to see what I can do. And if I go out there and I do the best I can and I lose, and that's all that I had to give, that's it. But I swear to you on my soul, that it's not a shade. If you listen to my coaches in between rounds, find me a fight and I'll give you $100. And that's for anybody listening to this. You send it to me, I'll give you $100. That you hear my coach, Phil, man, stuff the head, do this. Them niggas be, come on, Phil, we here. You gotta go. Come on, right now. You gotta go. Come on. That's literally be the coaching. It don't ever be direction, because they know what I can do, right? If they didn't know what I can do, they'd be like, yo, Phil, stuff the head, underhook. They literally be begging me. Phil, come on, we here, man. You gotta wait. You gotta go. Let's go now. Okay, you got that first one out. Let's go. Literally, that's what it be. And this game, you can't have it all. If Alex Pereira had jiu-jitsu, nigga, Adam would split. You know what I'm saying? That shit wouldn't make sense. And for me, I don't be scared. I just be hyper focused to the moment, and I don't want to miss the moment. So I be in there, no. That right hand, I just think too much, instead of just being out there and just being. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I be loose. I be coming out the R&B. I be relaxed. I be calm. But I'm so hyper focused on the moment and not missing the moment. I fucking miss the moment. It's weird, man.
That's
That's the
really
greatness in it too.
no. But I have a question because you're touching on a lot of things that people don't realize. I used to compete and I coached for Buck. A lot of people don't understand in traditional sports. You have 82 games in the NBA season, where you get to play everybody at least twice. But when you go out there and you're fighting, it's one time, and people don't realize you might be able to compete better than what you're competing at, but this is just one sample size. So how do you manage that emotion of going out there and saying, whatever happens, this is my performance and I'm living with it?
That's the hard part, man. Yeah, that's the tricky part, man. And I don't have a good answer for that, man. And like I said, that's been the struggle for me. And I know one thing is my skill set was gonna keep me safe, right? My defensive responsibility is gonna keep me safe. My jiu-jitsu will keep me safe, right? So I didn't have a bust lip in the UFC. I never had a cut eye, nothing. I just be in there slipping and dipping, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't talk to no fucking sports psychologist, none of that weird shit. I don't talk to nobody that don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm not laying on a couch and telling this nigga, that shit ain't for me, right? And point blank period. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just hoping that an obscene amount of repetition, obscene amount of training that I do will just make it second nature. I know what I got to do. I hold myself so accountable, right? Everything is my fault. I don't blame nothing on nobody. I'm just hoping that I've checked every box, that I've crossed every T and dotted every I. But I got the skill set to be here, man. And not only do I got the skill set to be here, I got the skill set to excel. I really do.
I believe that you're a great fighter. Just something that we've discussed in the past, like you mentioned something, your fight's a week away. There's nothing that you're going to learn from this point on that's going to change anything. You already have it or you don't. And I believe that you already possess those skills. And I think even though you feel like you haven't shown everything that you're capable of, you've shown plenty to show that you're an elite fighter in the UFC. So
I appreciate that, man.
For whatever that's worth.
100%. Like, hey, bro, we're not gonna keep your time, man. This actually it'll be the last part, or actually the last question that I do ask you, right? But Phil, with the determination that you have to go out there and get this win, right? And you say you don't know what it is, I feel like a lot of guys, like you said, you think too much, right? Allow yourself to be free of thought, right? And just allow yourself to flow in the moment. Like you said, you're trying to work on that. But a lot of guys, they allow themselves to be involved in what they're doing. So what do I mean by that, right? Like, allow whatever you've been training and whatever you've been working on to just come out naturally, right? A lot of guys got a game plan. I remember I told E, what I used to tell you, bro? I ain't got no game plan.
Sure.
We just in there working. You know what I mean? We in there going. Like when you sparring with guys, when you naturally flowing on the ground, right? You ain't really thinking. You go, you just, and I feel like that Phil Rowe needs to be extended out there because that person was thinking about, okay, not getting cut, not getting hit, not getting
exactly.
Fuck that. This is the hurt business. Things happen, But I think if you just focus your mind on really just driving towards the fact that, like, hey, like you said, I'm open for whatever happens, right? And I'm just gonna naturally just open up that door and just, like I said, whatever I see, boom, bro, I'm just gonna take it right on the chin. But best believe we throwing back, right?
Absolutely.
So my biggest question to you is this right here: when you find yourself in that position where you just flowing and you not thinking, will you allow your coaches to do their job?
Absolutely. And I truly feel, man, there's not a nigga my weight on the planet when I'm locked in that could fuck with me. I mean it, man. Like, I'm a realist, bro. Like, niggas don't keep it realistic. I'm 100% honest with myself, 100% of the time. When I go, there's no in between. Like, even if you look at my fights, I'll be losing and then I just win. there's no in between, right? There's no like momentum shift. There's just like me making a decision and fucking this person up. And I hope I do it. I'm gonna do it, right?
There you
You're
go.
gonna do it.
That
You're
part,
gonna do
that
it.
part, that
I'm
part.
gonna
You're gonna
do it.
do it.
I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna do it. It's not my opponent. It's me. You know. So and I'm good with the pressure. I'm good with the pressure. I'm cool with it. But yeah, man, I'm just blessed for the moment. I'm blessed to have to cut 26 pounds. I'm blessed to live my dream. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be here on the pod with you guys. Um, I'm just maximizing every moment of my life as it comes at this point. I'm tired of like the other day I was like thinking about it. I'm like, I always just want a car, right? I always just want this car. And after I get that car, that's gonna be it, right? And I think about it now. I got a Corvette, a Z06, and I got all these miles on this brand new car already. And I was just thinking about the other day. I'm like, man, I done went through 6 cars that most people would dream of, and it's not a flex. It's not about the car. And I haven't taken the time to enjoy none of them. I remember I didn't have a car. I was 24 years old when I first got a whip, right? I didn't come from nothing. I had to earn everything that I've had. And I let all these cars pass me by. And everyone that I was going to get was like a dream. The Lexus ES350 S Sport off the showroom. The Audi S5 off the showroom. The BMW M8 off the showroom. Not a flex. I swear to God, I'm just like every time I wanted a car, I put it in my head what I had to do to get it, and I got it. And it was the best thing in the world. And then I'm like, damn, I'm in this car now and I'm ready to get out of it. And I don't even appreciate this car. It's not about the car. It's about me not taking the time to just appreciate my moment, right? And I'm not gonna let this happen no more. I'm gonna appreciate this weight cut. I'm gonna appreciate today. Like I said, I appreciate the pod. I literally am just taking it day by day and appreciating the moment that I'm in, and I'm supposed to be there for whatever reason. So I'm hoping that I'm hyper focused on all these situations, on all these scenarios, and I'm gonna capitalize on them, you know?
Hey, man, well, we appreciate you for coming on the pod, man. And we're looking forward to you knocking out Buddy, man, come the 21st.
I appreciate it, man.
100%.
I appreciate it. Number love, man. Thank you guys for the platform.
Yeah.
We got to build, man. We got to share resources. We got to share opportunities. People that
Yes,
look
sir.
like us, man, we got to keep it going, brother.
100%, 100%, and we will.
Appreciate
Love,
you
man.
coming on the show, brother. Very interesting, you know. And I would love to rap with Phil more after this, you know, because this is one of the sides, and you know it personally, one of the sides of the business where I would have struggles. You would be so frustrated at times, you know, some of my performances, you know, that I didn't necessarily live up. And it's unfortunate my body started to break down, but I got to the point at the end where I didn't care. Talking to you, talking to my brother, it's like you have these moments where you have to realize, like, you don't have a game plan to spar, like you said. If you were to fight this person at any venue or any place, would you have any fear? Do you feel like your skills are competent? All these answers are yes, then what are you worried about? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You might get knocked out. There's been days where you're sparring and you just get caught. It happens. There's nothing you could do about it. So as soon as you accept and you know what it comes with, it just is what it is. So it's just an interesting thing. And I appreciate him for being as candid because, you know, as fighters, everybody wants to run away from fear, but we all have fear.
Yeah.
It's not the lack of fear that makes people great. It's doing stuff in spite of your fear.
100%.
And it was just good to hear him be candid and honest and open. So what were your thoughts on
Man,
that?
I mean, you know, well, first off, man, shout out to Phil Rowe for even coming on the show, you know. But, you know, with a lot of things that's going on within the business, it's hard to be a fighter, right? It is very hard to be a fighter.
The hardest time.
And then on top of that, right, having to go out there and dealing with all the things that you might feel, and then you got to step out in that octagon and then perform. See, me as a person that's been doing this for a minute now, and especially working with the UFC, you know, I ain't got nothing bad to say about them because, like Phil said before, and he said it best, it is a business,
Just
right?
business.
So how are you going to conduct yourself within this business, right? And with all that being said, no matter how you feel, and no matter who they line you up with, as long as you were prepared and ready to go to war, when you step out in that octagon, you make the choice. You make the decision, right? And once you get your hand raised and once you win, I don't care what nobody say, you bigger than the world champion himself at that moment, right? For that 60 seconds, right, when they hand you that mic, You can be able to tell the world exactly how you feel, what's on your mind, and you in control, right, of the moment. And besides like winning on a record or winning a check, right, to me, in my personal opinion, it's getting that mic, right, and being able to really express yourself on how you really, you know what I'm saying, feel about whatever situation. So with all that being said, you know, shout out to Phil for coming on the show.
Yeah, appreciate you, Phil.
All right.
Thank you for watching another episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. As always, like, share, subscribe, be a brick.